The Minnesota Vikings are taking on the Chicago Bears at US Bank on Monday Night Football. Should be a good one. The Bears have lost all of their division games by one score. I think by 3 points is the most for any of those three games that they've had. So it has been tight in the division, and we don't expect this one to be any different.
The Bears.
The Bears.
That's all I really have to say right now. But thank you so much for joining us on another episode of the BuiBros Football Podcast. I am one of your hosts, Quinn Bowie, and I, of course, cheer for the LA Chargers. Across from me, my brother, Brandon.
And I cheer for the Minnesota Vikings.
Whoa, whoop-ah.
Yeah.
Nice. Week 15, Brandon. Week 15. Here we go. You guys are 11-2.
11-2.
Going for 12-2.
Going for 12-2. It's, we're -7. We're 7.5 point favorites. So, they think that we should win. We think we should win. They fired their coach. They're not looking great. Hopefully it's like it's not a tune-up. Hopefully we just give them the gears, okay? Like I said, I think they lost to us by 3 points. The Lions by like 1 point. I can't remember. But they've been tight games when they played the Packers, us, and the Lions. And so this will be their this is their fourth division game. This is also our fourth division game. But it's a battle, right? These division games are tough. We could lose. It's definitely a possibility. Obviously, any given Sunday, but specifically against the division rivals, the Bears suck, and somehow we're like they're on like a 7 or 8 game losing streak right now. I think
Starting from 4-2.
Yeah, what are they now? They're still
They're garbage, is what they are.
Yeah, they're 4-9.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, so 4-2, and now they're 4-9. All off that Hail Mary that went, and then it's just like downhill. This thing after this thing after this thing. But yeah. So the Bears, they suck, but we got to be careful, right? Like,
100%.
Their quarterback is getting better, kind of. He's going to keep getting better, as he progresses through his career. They have a decent O-line, I think. But it's one of those games where I'm not overly comfortable, and it's going to be everybody watching Monday Night Football. Hopefully that bodes well for us. It's a home game. US Bank is an electric atmosphere, especially like for a primetime game. It should be pretty. We should be feeling the energy there, and hopefully the Bears feel that too. And maybe it can get. I don't know how many primetime games Caleb Williams has had this year, but it's a different atmosphere, So hopefully it kind of gets in his head a little bit. Hopefully the fans can do that. Hopefully the stadium, the atmosphere can do that, and it can kind of be the 12th man, so to speak, for the Minnesota Vikings.
For sure. Like, I'm not sure how many primetime games the Bears have had this season, but 7 straight losses after starting high, after being this transcendent prospect coming out of college, where you've got all the weapons at your disposal, above average offensive line. The expectations were high. I can't see this game falling apart. The players falling apart. The best player on the Bears roster right now, offensively, is Keenan Allen.
Mm-hmm.
DeAndre Swift, up and down. DJ Moore, same thing. Roma Dunze, when he does get his opportunities, is shown out. As shown last week, I think it was like 4 or 5 catches, 2 touchdowns there. So he is building a connection, and one of those nice, sweet toe tap
Yeah.
type of grab. but they have a lot of work to do. Your defense has been in form for so long. You guys play your assignments, you do your job. I don't see how the Vikings don't come out on top, especially if Sam Darnold can continue riding the momentum after his 5-touchdown performance. Jordan Addison healthy, TJ Hawkinson healthy. We all know JJ, he's going to have 0 catches, 0 targets at halftime, and then maybe explode in the second half. But still, best receiver in the NFL. Your offense is strong. Strong offensive line, even though there have been injuries there. You guys are finding ways to move those guys around and make it work. And then your defense, Stephon Gilmore out last week. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Byron Murphy. Byron Jones? Byron Murphy.
Yeah.
Byron Murphy Jr. 2 picks last week, or maybe it was 2 picks in the last 2 weeks. Because he ended it 2 weeks ago. That's what it was.
I think he's got 6 on the year.
Great. Great performance. Bears, their defense was holding strong. Mid-season, starting to falter a little bit. They're coming off, 38-13? What was the score? Niners. Dismantling them. Without CMC, without Jordan Mason, and without Brandon Ayuk, with Deebo Samuel as a bum this year. 38-13?
Yeah.
You guys got this.
Yeah, so I have here their 7-game loss streak. I'll read out the scores, just to show that they're bums, but they're not always bums. So against the Commanders, okay, 15-18 loss. And that was the Hail Mary. Where Tyreek Stevenson's not even paying attention and tips the ball up to Noah Brown okay, next week, 29-9 loss to the Cardinals, 19-3 to the Patriots, and the Patriots suck. The Patriots are bad, dude. And then they have a 3-game stretch here, 20-19 for the Packers. So they lose by 1 point to the Packers. 30-27 for the Vikings. They lose by 3 points to the Vikings. And then 23-20 against the Lions. And they really had a shot. That was the game where for some reason they're like in field goal range or almost in there. And they just run the clock out for 40 seconds to lose. It made no sense and they had the timeout. So they could have easily won that Lions game. Well, they could have easily tied that Lions game. And who knows, but yeah, brutal. So those 3 games, though, like I mentioned, they're super tight. And then, like you said, 13-38 against the Niners. So I don't expect a 13-38 game because it's this division. It's just this is what the NFC North is like. We just have tight games. I bet you if we look, every game is decided by 1 score. But I bet you it's not even 7. I bet you they're like I think our game with the Lions we lost by 1. I think that's how it went. I'm not sure about ours against the Packers. I have to look again, but I bet you it's 1 score again, and it's under 7. They're just really tight games all season long. So I expect this, and then they play the Lions again. I expect this to be a close game again. Now, I'm not going to give my prediction yet. That'll be at the end after we get through this. But it's just, you know what? I'm just happy that we're playing at US Bank at this time of year. It always seems like December or November comes around, whatever, and it's like, oh, we face them at Soldier Field outside. It's cold as hell. They're used to that. Maybe we're not. And so it's, it's always troublesome in that regard. But this time it'll be at US Bank. I think that's a huge advantage for us. Like I mentioned, -7.5 in favor of the Vikings. I'm not sure we cover that spread. You know what I mean? I think.
Yeah, that's a big spread.
Yeah.
That's a big spread. I'm not sure. And you have to realize, maybe it could happen though. Because that last game, the Bears set an NFL record for this millennia. Did you know this?
This last game?
This last game,
I don't know
the Bears set a record for this millennia. for fewest net yards, total yards in the first half.
Dude.
4 total yards.
I think it's worse than that, though. The whole game, the thing I saw was that the Niners had 310 and the Bears had 2.
No.
But then I think that, because whenever you see something like that, they're taking into account like lost yards on sacks and shit too.
Yes.
But still, that counts, man.
Wow.
So that's what I saw was their total yards being 2. Now, I don't know how I find something like that, but
yeah,
what
I
the
mean,
hell?
you know, it's gonna be better than 4 total yards in the first half. I would be shocked. Like, it can't be 2, because then that would be the second half would be a new record of minus 2 yards.
Yeah, I don't know.
As an offense. But dismal performance besides that. The Bears go in the wrong direction. The Vikings going the right direction. You guys know you're competing for first place, not only in your division, but the conference. So KOC is not going to let this go down easy. Sam Darnold is going to continue to thrive. Jordan Addison, JJ, and Hawk are going to do their stuff. Your running backs, your running game, there needs to be some work there. But, you know, you guys are showing that, or at least slowing down the transition back into this defense run game that we've talked about. Mm-hmm. You guys continue the passing game. You continue to show that it is a passing league if you can scheme it up nicely. And KOC does a hell of a job.
Yeah. Okay, I just looked it up. I don't know where I got that number from. So they had 162 total yards.
So it must have been second half. Much better second half.
Yeah, much better second half. It was one of those things that popped up on the screen, and it must have been at halftime or something like that. It must have been like just before half or something like that. So, yeah, but either way, they fire their coach, who was obviously horrible, and now what they've got going now doesn't seem to be any better. But you can't really fault it. You know, an interim coach is a hard thing to do. So, or being an interim coach is a hard thing to do. So, it's I don't necessarily blame that guy, but they're not a great team, and that's what sucks most about playing them within the division. Like, every game is obviously within the division with them, but what sucks is that they're not a good team, yet we make them look like they can hang with us, and they can. They prove that as well. But you know, there's never easy games. There's never easy games against the Bears. It's always tough. It's like that with every divisional game, and so I'm nervous. You know, I think we win. I'm not saying they win. I would never say that, but I'm nervous. This is
could be a trap game.
They're all. I don't say trap game because it's divisional, right? Like, the trap game is when you play the Giants. You know, any team plays the Giants. That's a trap game. And now, I don't think it ever works. I don't think it's ever a trap because they're. But okay, sorry. With the Bears, it's just, this is a tough division. We are in a very tough division, and the Bears are a part of that. As much as they aren't doing very well, they were roasting teams to get to 4-2 at the beginning of the year, and things started to fall apart. They still have a rookie quarterback, you know. He's going to keep growing and getting better, and you know, he could be dangerous, you know, maybe next season or something like that. But he's shown lots of great flashes this year, and all he has to do is have his game this year. You know what I mean? He has to have that one game that goes, oh shoot, there's that Caleb Williams we've been waiting to see. And it could happen this week. It could happen last week. It could happen next week. You don't know when it's going to happen, and we could fall victim to that, if we're not careful. So, he's already seen our defense and the disguises. So hopefully he's not too familiar. But this is the second time we play him, and same thing could be said for us. Is that this is the second time we've played him, and so we can see some of his tendencies on our tape with him. And so maybe we learn something with that. So We'll see. We'll see how it goes. They're not a great team, but their points allowed is 10th, but their points scored is 24th in the league. So that's no good versus we're 9th in scoring and then 6th in scoring defense. So yeah. Anyways.
Hey. So what do you have it? Let's get to the meat and potatoes of this. Week 15 going to 12-2, I'm assuming.
12-2, yes. But you know what I think would be fun? Now, the predictions I don't think I've ever gotten one right. These are tough to get, obviously. But I'm going to say it's a full repeat of the last game. I would think it would be really cool. Well, looking back, it'll be really cool to see that the score would be 30-27 again. I think that would be kind of cool, is that we played the exact same game against them two times in one season. So I'm going to go with a 30-27, and it's going to be real uncomfortable. It's going to be real. We're going to have a very upsetting talk next week.
Ooh, gosh, that's too much. That's way too much. But okay, you get the dub at the end of the day. It doesn't matter. Caleb Williams shows flash to Chicago Bears. Believe in him again. All right. Let's see here. Chicago and I've got you at 24-15 for the Bears. That's the score I've got. Vikings move to 12-2. Crazy season continues, and I'm happy. I'm happy for you. I'm happy for the fans. I'm happy for the Vikings. There we have it. That's our prediction. What do you think? Let us know in the comments. Are we crazy? Are we on track? Are the Bears gonna win? Nah.
12-2.
All right. We do appreciate you being here with us. If you are a fan of the Vikings, of the Chargers, or the NFL in general, please consider subscribing to the channel, liking the video, hitting that notification bell. Really does help us out. Lets us know you love talking football each and every day, just like Brandon and I do. All right, Brandon. Send us off.
Skol Bolts!
Wooba! Wooba! Skol Bolts, baby! Let's go!
Bye!